and welcome. Today we're going to be going over how you can create a Zenphi flow that can automatically replace images inside of a Google Doc. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step to any Zenphi flow is to set up the connection to your trigger. In Zenphi, the trigger is the action that's going to start the flow, initiate the process. In this case, the trigger that we're using is called Google Drive File Add Trigger, meaning it's going to start the flow whenever a file is added to a specific folder in a drive. So to be able to do that, all you have to do is create a new connection by clicking on the plus icon here. You'll be able to select if it's a private or shared connection, meaning who's going to be accessing it, only you or anyone in your workspace, and then you can also give it a name. Creating your connection is going to grant Zenphi permission to access your drive and be able to monitor this folder. To select a folder, all you have to do is click on this Google Drive icon here. It'll open your Google Drive and you'll be able to select any folder that you have access to. The first action we're going to be using is called generate document using template, meaning we're going to need a template to be able to let Zenphi know where to replace the image. So this is going to be the document that we're going to be using as an example. This is the image that I want to replace with different animal images, for example. So all we have to do is put an image here. It can be any image. This is only going to work as the image that we want to replace. So once you have an image here, you're going to do right click alt text, and then you're going to go to the advanced options here, and it's going to allow you to add a title to the image. So you're going to add a placeholder. This is going to allow Zenphi to be able to know where to replace the image. So whatever title you wish to give your image, just make sure it's in between two curly brackets like so. If you don't see title, you might see it in this format. If you click on advanced options, you should be able to see it. So once you have that, you're ready to go. You can replace the image. Now going back to our action, first you have to set up the connection. You're going to let it know which file is your template. You can do so again by clicking on the Google Drive icon and selecting the Google Doc. And then you have to select where you wish to save this new Google Doc. So you would use again the Google Drive icon, select a folder where you wish to save this new document, and then afterward you need to give it a name. In this case, for the file name, I use the token picker, which is this little icon here. This allows us to insert data from previous steps. So in this case, I'm going to be using the file name of the original image. So I can do so by clicking on the trigger and then looking at the file name just so that it contains the same name as it did before. This also gives you the option to generate HTML and PDF, and you can even load placeholders. So if you want to replace text and images, you're also able to do so. In this case, we're only going to be replacing the images in the document. To be able to do so, if it doesn't load after clicking load placeholders, you can just click here on add placeholders in the image mapping section, and you would be writing the placeholder just like you wrote it in your Google Doc. And now that it knows where to replace information, we have to let it know what information it's going to put in that specific spot. So to do that, I use the token picker. I went again to the trigger. If you go down at the bottom, you're going to be able to see file content. So that is what I'm going to be sending it. So I'm telling it to put the file content exactly in that spot that I told it to. Now keep in mind, since we are using the Google Drive trigger, this means that every time a file is added to the folder we selected, it's going to run through the process once our flow is published. So make sure you create a new folder while you're only going to be adding the images that you wish to replace, or use a different trigger. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and test the flow. So I'm going to do test run, select a file to start, and I'm going to be selecting the file that's called cat03jpg. We're going to go ahead and click start. And as we can see here, it has gone through both steps. So if we go to our drive, we're going to see a document with the exact same name as the image. So let's go ahead and open it. And there is the image that we had selected. So it's very simple. Remember, you can make your flows as complex as you need them. You can replace text, you can replace the images, you can send via email. The possibilities are honestly endless. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel so you can learn how to use different actions, different triggers, and automate as many processes as possible. Thank you so much for watching.